One of the things that first made me realize that no one has their handle on this issue was the fact that we have never really appreciated how many concussions actually happen. When medical professionals talked about this 5 or 10 years ago, they would confidently say that only 5 or 10% of athletes got concussions each year. And they were using data that was taken from athletic trainers. I knew, and there were luckily some other doctors who knew as well, that athletic trainers don't hear about every concussion symptom that an athlete experiences. And so by asking the athletes themselves, we found that the concussion rate is not 5 or 10%, it's more like 50 or 70% in contact sports like football, soccer, hockey, every season. So half the kids out there are getting concussion every season. The only reason we haven't heard about that is because the athletes have never known to say anything. We used to think it was because athletes actually wanted to hide the injury. When someone actually did the study and asked the athletes, they found out no, it wasn't that this was a choice. This was that they didn't think a headache was worth talking about, or the fact that they saw stars for a few minutes. And so that was kind of step one. If you want to solve this problem, you've got to tell the athletes what's happening.
You get a hard hit and your head doesn't feel right, it's diagnosed as a concussion now. When we were younger, I believe that you had your bell rung and take a couple deep breaths and relax, and you were right back at it. I was diagnosed with probably 2 as a player, mild ones, but I'm sure I had a few more than that. Not the ones where you get knocked out unconscious, but that's, we're learning now more about concussions, and it's more than just the high-end ones. So I probably had, a handful. I think that it's become okay to say you don't feel well. There's just so much more, or there's more knowledge on the concussions, where at the time you just sort of, your head hurt, you squirted some water on your face and just went out there and kind of gutted through it, I guess. I think all the leagues, from the lower leagues right up to the NHL, have been more proactive, and I think that now, when you can see a kid get hit on the ice, I think they're doing a better job right away of taking the kid and finding out what, how they feel.
One report investigated the frequency of unreported concussions and estimated more accurately the rate of concussions in high school football players. This report showed that the most common reasons for concussions not being reported included a player not thinking the injury was serious enough to warrant medical attention, 66.4% of unreported injuries, motivation not to be withheld from competition, 41%, and lack of awareness of probable concussion, 36.1%.
This excerpt is brought to you by the Massachusetts School of Law, the leader of reform in legal education and a leader in multimedia education for the public. To view the full interview and for a full listing of MSL's programs, log on to mslaw.edu.